Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the inaugural Level 1 video of Better Living Through Fitness. All right, let me start our timer. And here we go. We're going to start off with a light jog. All right, don't have to work too hard. Just get the balls of your feet slightly off the floor. This is just a light warm-up. Slight bend in the knees. We're just trying to get our blood pumping throughout our body. This is just a warm-up. So now what we're going to go to is we're going to bring our legs slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Slight bend in the knees if you can manage. Bring our guard up near our face and we're going to punch. Loosen up the joints in our arms. As you do this, kind of move with it. Try to use your legs to kind of create a motion of you bouncing while you do this. All right, 5 more seconds. Now we're gonna do some low guard punches. We have a guard up here like this. Now we're gonna drop our guard down here, lengthen the neck. We're gonna punch down. Keep that motion going through your legs. All right, now we're gonna go into jumping jacks, all right? So there's your traditional jumping jacks, right? Where you're actually leaping. But if that's too hard for you, you can actually just step out and then step back in, okay? The main thing here is to keep your elbows bent, all right? It makes the workload a lot easier on your shoulders when you do this. But if you can do some actual jumping jacks. Now we're gonna put our legs back out to a wide stance again, and we're gonna do a wide leg run. Just like the jog, feet just slightly coming off the floor, but now we're having our stance a little wider. Working the outside of our legs. The next thing we're going to go into, we're going to keep our legs in the same position, but we're going to do some uppercuts. Lean forward if you can. So if my shoulders is in line with my hips, just a slight lean, looking forward, and keeping a 90-degree bend in your elbow, doing some uppercuts like that. Now, we're going to lean backwards, okay? So once again, shoulders in line with the hips, and we lean back a little bit, and we're gonna be punching upward. Keep a very slight bend in the knees. You don't have to go way down here and get your legs parallel with the flat ground. Just a slight bend is okay. We're just warming up. We're not trying to damage our bodies. This really activates your abs. Now we're going to do an exercise that I've made up. I call it whack-a-mole. We bring our legs up in a high knee position, and you can either hit with the same arm, or you can alternate the arms and cross it over your body. This is engaging most of your core in this exercise. So this is option 1. And this is option 2. If you do option 2, your legs kind of naturally come out to the side a little bit more, but it definitely gets those obliques. Let me give this one 5 more seconds. Now this next one is interesting. This is a butt kick for those who can do it. So obviously you're doing like a jog again, and your heels are coming to touch your butt. But if you can't do that, we're gonna do what I call a lunge butt kick, okay? So where you step forward into kind of a lunge position, and then you kick with that back leg. Switch legs, kick. From the front, lunge, kick, switch legs, kick, switch legs, kick. We're warming up our hamstrings. We're activating them, getting them ready for action. All right. All right, we're gonna finish this out with a jog. Same as before. You might be a little bit warmed up, so you might be moving a little bit quicker, but just get your toes off the floor for the jog. We're flushing that oxygenated blood throughout our body. All right, 3, 2, 1. Now get a drink of water, and we're gonna start with our stretches. Okay, we're gonna start with arms across our chest like this. And if you can, do a little bit of a twist into it. While we're in the stretch, we're gonna do 2 to 3 second pulses, okay? So 1, 2, relax. 3, 4, relax. 5, 6, relax. 7, 8, relax. 9, 10. Relax. Switch sides, arms across our chest, slight twist in our torso. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, next one, we're gonna do what I call a half surrender. So this would be like surrendering to somebody. We're gonna do a half surrender. Okay, so one arm, and we're gonna put it on the wall, keep that elbow bent, and we're gonna turn and stretch our chest. So you turn away from the wall while you're holding on to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I went over. All right, so surrender. I'm gonna have to turn away from you on this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so next we're gonna bend at our waist and stretch our lower back, hips, hamstrings. Okay, so if you keep your back straight and bend at the hips like a hinge, it gets mostly the stretch goes into your legs. Okay, but I like to bend a little bit in the lower back and try to stretch that out just a little bit. Go to where it feels good and it's slightly pulling, but you don't feel it pulling too much. Okay, so 1, 2. I'm coming up and resting my hands on my knees. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now, we're going to do some lunges. I always like to do lunges in my stretches, even though today specifically, we're not going to be doing very much in the way of leg exercises. So, lunging, we're doing a forward lunge. I'm going to start off to the right. So, now for some of you who have leg trouble, a good way to get a lunge stretch, because you really want to get the hamstring stretches and this, the hip flexors area. But, so a good way to do it is stick this leg straight out, and then put your hands on your knee like this, slightly bending it forward so that you're not pushing your knee backwards. All right, but put your hands on your knee, and what you're going to do is you're going to take the entire weight of your upper body, push it through your arms and into your shins like that, so that you're not actually bending with all of your weight hinged on your knee. That's where a lot of the pain comes from, is putting extra weight into that hinge when you move it there. But what we're doing is we're putting our weight through the shin bone instead, and then we can move it a little bit easier. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm even able to maintain that as I do the stretch, even with pulses. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I lean forward, and then I'm back up. Let's do it to the other side. Step out, hands, shuffle this foot back, hands on our knees like this, pushing the weight into our shin, and then we can bend it the rest of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. I overstretched again. Okay, so from that, yeah, there we go. All right. So that's it for the stretches. We're going to actually start the exercises now. Okay. Reset my clock. And we're going to start off with some jogs. All right. A little bit higher than last time. Okay. Where our feet were just barely coming off the floor now. Just get them maybe a 1 or 2 inches off the floor. Not like a high knee, but just a little bit more intense. Okay. Okay, the next thing we're going to go to is push-ups, okay? I know a lot of you guys hate push-ups or you can't do them at all, but we've got an option that you can actually work with. So there's your traditional push-ups that everybody, if you are strong enough to do a push-up, best way to do it is to think of yourself running towards a wall and then picture yourself running into that wall. And this position, about 45-degree angle, that's where you want your arms at when you're doing your push-up. But for those who can't, this is what we're going to do. We're going to find either a banister or a wall, and we're going to use that as our push-up. So we're going to put our hands on the banister, step our toes up to it, and I'm going to go back 1, 2.5 steps, and I'm going to do my push-ups there. This takes a lot of the stress out of it, and if you have anything obstructing your mobility, you've got all this space to prevent that. Another option, like I said, is a wall. So if you have a wall to go up against, go straight up to it, toes touching the wall, hands where you need to be, which is about at that 45-degree angle, all right? And then we go back for 1, 2.5 steps, and we do the push-ups on the wall. This is a great option for perpetual motion. For like any time of the day that you have time to lean against the wall, just knock out a few push-ups. All right, that's it for the push-ups. We've actually gone way over time on that. All right, now we're gonna go into a slight squat. This is what I call a horse stance. In a horse stance, you go way down here. We're just gonna do a slight bend in the knees, and we're gonna do a jab, cross, uppercut combo. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, uppercut. Other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, uppercut. The punch that you start with is the one that you end up doing the uppercut on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, uppercut. 1, 2, 3, 4, uppercut. Make sure, if you can, to bend your hips, twist your hips into the punch, and also, if you can, to lift your heel. You want to engage your entire body into that uppercut. And also keep your elbow at 90 degrees. Our next one is going to be a squat pulse. So while we're in this position, if you can, you don't have to go really far. I'm just going to do, you see how slightly bent my knees are? It's nothing crazy. And all we're doing is just down a little bit and back up. Down a little bit and back up. This is a pulse. All right. We're going to do a level 2 version on our next time through, if you can. But as it stands now, we're just squatting a little bit and coming back up. Just a little bit. Not coming way down here. Just a little bit. Because even my knees don't like it. Whatever's comfortable for you. Even if it's just a matter of slight bending like that. As long as it's activating these muscles, that's fine. All right. Now we're gonna do some mountain climbers. We're gonna do the mountain climbers based on the same push-up position that we just did. So coming back to my banister, toes, 1, 2.5 feet. And so this position where I would do my push-ups like this, instead I'm gonna keep my arms straight and I'm gonna raise my feet. This is like mountain climbers. Let's give it 10 more seconds. Another option, obviously, is doing it with the wall. 1, 2, I'm gonna go back 3 steps for this one. So 3 steps, since I'm not going in like this, and I can do mountain climbers from a wall also. All right, so we've done that. Now we're gonna do an ab exercise, okay? So let's get down here. We're going to do as a variation of a jackknife. Now, jackknife is where everything all the way out and you come together and you touch. All we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our legs in like this, reach our arms straight out, and we're going to try to do a crunch. The position you'll end up when you finish, arms facing the ceiling, almost like you're a zombie. Like picture yourself like old school Boris Karloff Frankenstein, you know, walking with your arms straight out in front of you. But we're gonna do crunches involved with that. So let me scoot down a little more. So hands up, lift them up, and when they get to the ceiling, you do a little crunch with it. The hands moving from your head to in front of you are to kind of give you a guide so that your abs tend to move with your arms. Let's do 2 more seconds or 2 more reps. 1 more. There we go. All right. Now we're going back to the jog. You might have everything loosened up and moving them out. You might be able to jog a little bit faster. Feel free to do that. If you can lift your legs a little bit higher, go right ahead. But make sure you stay within your comfort zone. The main goal of this is to get your heart rate going and your lungs working. Five more seconds. It's a great way to flush out the oxygenated blood throughout the body. All right, now going back to the push-ups. I'm gonna stay on the banister this time. So back 1, 2.5. Go at your own pace. You don't have to keep up with me. Or if you can go faster than me. One more. Now, if this is too easy for you, feel free to try out the level 2 and feel free to kind of mingle which ones work for you. Next, we're going to do the combo again. So getting back into this slight squat position, okay? Guard up and 1, 2, 3, 4, uppercut. 1, 2, 3, 4, uppercut. Remember to turn your hips and lift your heel. Five more seconds. And then we're going back. Well, no, actually, we'll be going into the squat pulse. Now, we're going to do a level 2 version of this, okay? So now, the same position as before. We got our feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Slight bend in the knees. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a pulse up and down. So pulse up and then stand. Well, not all the way up. Basically got a low pulse and a high pulse. Down up, down, up. Let's give it 5 more seconds. Down, up, down, up. All right, there we go. Now we're going back to the mountain climbers again. To the banister, 1, 2. I'm gonna take 3 steps back on this. Give myself some extra room. I got big feet, so you might have to take 3 full steps back. You might have to take 4. And some of you may only have to take 2 steps. It's up to you. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, going on to the next. Back to the floor again. We're gonna try those abs again. Go at your own pace, however long it takes you. If you need to pause the video to get set up, that's okay. Sometimes I need to. All right, here we go. I think I'm going to call this the Frankenstein. Although there's probably already a name for it. All right. Let's give it 5 more seconds. Wow, that was fast. Okay. All right. Take your time to get back up. Coming back to the jog. This is going to be our last exercise. Five more seconds. There we go. All right, good job. Now we're gonna stretch. Always stretch after an exercise. Let's get a little bit of water first. Okay, we're gonna start off with the forward lunge. We're gonna start off with the lunges this time. Okay, so as I said before, step your feet out into a wide stance. Put your hand, slight bend. Put your hands on your knees, push that weight through your shin, and then do that lunge. Now this time we're not doing pulses. We're gonna hold the stretch for 30 seconds. So get to where it's comfortable, where you feel it stretching where it needs to, and then hold that. All right. We're holding for, I think, 20 seconds. I think I said 30 a second ago. Okay, so from this position, keep that there. If you want, you can keep your arm on it. Turn this leg out, and we're gonna do a side lunge. You can actually apply the same principle of pushing through your shin. Ten more seconds. All right, switching to the other side. Step out, hands on your knees. Apply the pressure on your shin and lunge. The reason why we do short pulse stretches in the beginning and then long stretches in the end is if you do short 2 to 3 second pulse stretches, it keeps the springiness in your muscles, which keeps you prepared for the exercises that's coming forward. Whereas if you do a long stretch like this at the beginning, turn it out, you can overstretch your muscles, and then when you go to put stress on them, you can pull them because they're overstretched, and now you're trying to contract them again. So we want that springiness to stay in there, but we want them to be flexible also. All right, that's good. Now we're gonna do that bend over and get the back again. All right, so shoulders in line with the hips. You can either bend You can keep your back straight and bend at the hips if you want, or you can release that lower back. But wherever you're comfortable, make sure that it's comfortable for you. Here, we're going to hold it and just stay there. All right, that feels good. Okay, now going for that half surrender stretch again to get your chest. We did do some chest exercises, so find a wall, bend in the elbow, pull against the chest. All right, now switch sides. All right, and I think this is our last stretch. Yeah, arms across the chest with a slight twist in the trunk. And we're gonna hold that for 20 seconds. Other side. Three, two, one, and that's it. All right, great job. Good on you if you stuck all the way through to the end. I apologize for if the video seems rough in any way, shape, or form. This is a new thing for me, so I'm working the kinks out. Let me know in the comments below if you think there's any kind of suggestions that I might be able to have as far as exercises or even setup. I wouldn't mind talking shop with anybody because I'm new to this. But make sure you have some protein after you've exercised to help your body replenish the muscles that you may have just damaged or anything like that, because that's part of exercising. Also, stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, and if you like the video, please like and subscribe. I'll be bringing one of these videos every day. All right, so y'all have a good one.